Good evening. Wait, no, Mike's muted on Twitch. Yeah, that's working now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Evolution League Racing. It's good to be back again. We've got round number 4 today, the British Grand Prix, and Toys on his outlap, taking us around. We've also got Spitfire Boy there, going through Maggots and Beckett. I really don't like the motion blur in the distance. I'm going to try and fix those graphic settings if I can, because that's not very nice. I think it's DLSS, or maybe it's frame gen, I'm not sure. But Spitfire Boy's going to come around the last couple of corners. We've also got Toya on his outlap. He is the current championship leader, having taken over the lead in the last race. We've also got his teammate Rivs Racing, second in the championship. Tech Sport there, having his first race of the season. He's not out on track just yet. Mr. Business is a little bit further down in the standings, having missed a race. He's currently 8 points behind, sitting in 4th place, but it's all very much to play for. From 1st down to 5th is only 16 points. It's all very open in the championship. Why is my mic not working on Twitch? I've just noticed my mic is not on Twitch, even though it should be. That's lovely. Let's try that. Okay, mic's now on Twitch. No, I don't want to do that. For some reason, Mike wasn't active on Twitch when it was on YouTube. That's fine. But like I was saying, we've got the British Grand Prix today. I will try and fix the issues that I've got with graphic settings. Oh, you can see through the car again. That's lovely. This Spitfire Boy's going to take us down the hangar straight. He's used a bit too much of that battery in the opening part of the lap. It's not going to be quite the way he would want to. He's going to get stopped for the Vale Chicane, taking it round the last couple of corners across the line. He's going to go. And Spitfire Boy sets to 127.4 as the opening benchmark. Here today, you'd imagine that will be beaten by Toy, who's coming through the final chicane as well. He's going to put his foot to the floor, crossing the line. It's a 25.7, and already these times looking very competitive. We could be in for a very entertaining qualifying session. If we got a 25.7 being set, it's the first run. It's a very competitive time. We'll see what Mr. Business can do. He comes around the last chicane as well. Bit of a slide as he gets it through the final part of Vale. Across the line, it's 26.3 as he goes 6 cents off what Tyre managed. It's big gaps early on in the session. We've got Mystics just starting his first lap as well. Then we got Rivs Racing, who's got the Racing Balls car just in front of him, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Around the last corner, he does run out of battery before the line. And it's only a 126.9. There's definitely more time to be found. I'd imagine he'll be getting closer to Mr. Business later on in the session. The other drivers on their runs. We got Charlotte Perkins coming around the last couple of corners. She's invalidated her run, so that won't be counting. But we can see what it would have been regardless. It's a 27.0. Would have been P4. But that, obviously, it doesn't matter if you don't actually get the lap in. We've seen the first of the runs so far. Yeah, boy, just going around Cop's corner of turn number 9, taking us into Max and Beckett's as well. We've got Mystic, who's coming into the final couple of corners through Stowe now. He's going to be back on the power as soon as possible for the run into the Vale Chicane. Going to try and get stopped again in hard lap mode, which isn't the most efficient way to use ERS on this game. But it's not disastrous. It's not the biggest of deals. It just means you are more likely to run out before the line. It's 127.2 to go into P5 from Mystic. Yeah, boy, coming around the last couple of corners as well. Right out of battery already before he even gets towards the line. It's a 28.9, possibly backing off. at some point during the run. He's going again, by the looks of things. Oh, possibly not. I'm not really sure what the run plan is here. Clearly isn't a representative time. We've got Claudio coming around. Cop's corner as well. Mr. Quota just joining the session. Will give us a better indication of how the Toy's lap is. Or how competitive Toy's lap is. Here comes Claudio across the line. Goes into P7 with a 27.6. I feel like he'd have more time in that as well. That's not quite what we've come to expect from Claudio. That's an interesting one. And he's quite a long way off where I would have thought he would be. We got Tech Support coming around the last couple of corners as well. No one just posted a lap time there. It looks, I thought someone did. Mystic's coming around the last corner. Going to go for a second run on the same set of tyres. It's not an awful thing to do at Silverstone, thanks to the slightly harder tyres. It's the C4 on the soft tyre at this circuit. Tiny bit up for Rivs Racing as he comes down into Stowe. And maybe the time in this lap is in the final couple of corners. We'll just have to wait and see. He takes us through Stowe, turn number 15. But he's going to come into the pit lane. He's not up by enough to think it's worth staying out on track. Mystic through Sector 1. Tiny bit down on his personal best time, but not nearly enough of a difference to warrant backing off the lap. He's going to keep going as he heads round onto the old pit straight in towards Cop's corner of turn number 9. We've also got the two Ferrari drivers swapping places. That's NS who's going past. He's coming into the final couple of corners as well. Going to get it stopped, rotated. He's going to get back on the power as soon as he can. A little bit early, turning in for the second part of the Vale chicane. And across the line he goes. It's P4 with a 126.8. And he's still got 40% battery left. There's definitely time in that car if he can just extract it later on in the session. As Tech Support jumps up into P6 with a 127.1. We've got a few other drivers who are going to be joining. Or at least one other driver. We're going to have Stellan joining us, which will take us up to 40 in total, which is a lot nicer, a lot healthier of a grid size. I think Mystic ended up coming into the pit lane. Yes, he did. We've got Ian, who's just coming around the first sector, 27.4. Not sure how that stacks up compared to the first sectors of the other drivers. Toy is on a run as well. He's just started it, and will hope to extend his advantage out top. R34's done a 126.0 at some stage, which I somehow managed to miss. N takes us through Maggers and Beckett's into the right hand of Chapel, which takes you on to the hangar straight. He's going to get back on the power as soon as he can. Going to get a bit of a distant tow from the Ferrari, but it's not going to make too much difference in terms of his straight line speed, using as much battery as he has remaining on the run into Stowe. And again, it's almost flat out through the high-speed right-hander. He's going to get it stopped for the Vale chicane, taking as much of that inside curb as possible, avoiding the sausage curb on the exit. Gets back on the power, and round the last corner he goes. And then goes up into P4 with a 126.8. Almost half a second of what Mr. Business managed earlier on. Toy now is a tiny bit down on his personal best through Sector 1. He's a 10th up through Sector 2, and now he could be looking to extend that advantage even further. He's got Mr. Quota just in front of him, which will be that little bit of intimidation from the Haas driver. He's going to come into the final chicane. He's going to get stopped. It's a slide from Mr. Quota in front of him. But here comes Toya. Around the last couple of corners, we're going to see whether he can improve. He goes wide! Right on the exit. And what seemed to be an improvement, he's lost it there and then. The 25.7 will remain the fastest time of the session so far. But what could that lap have been if it wasn't for that final corner mistake? And will that cost him in the long run? His teammate Rivs Racing just starting his second flying run. We've got Mr. Business coming around the last corner. He's a 10th up through the first couple of sectors. Mr. Business across the line. Improved by 4 in the end to find a 125.9. R34's a tiny bit down through the first 2 sectors. He's going to come across the line as well and improves, but not by much to go 7 thousandths behind Mr. Business. Sharp's back in the pit lane again, having had a second messed up run. And that's really going to hurt her in the long run. Ains going again on those same tyres that he's set his current best lap on. We've also got, that's Claudio there just starting a lap behind him. Here comes Mr. Quota into the final couple of corners. It's a 103.0 in the first 2 sectors. We've got no reference time to see how that stacks up. He's going to get stopped, though, for the final chicane. Taking the corner as quickly as he can manage. Back on the power. It's a slide as well. Through the exit. The fail chicane, and it's only P7. How much time did he lose from that slide? And how much was him simply trying to find his feet in this session? Just give you one last time out. Quite clearly has the pace, but it all seemed to go wrong in that final sector. Here comes Riz Racing across the line. He ran out of battery, but it's still a 3/10 improvement to a 126.6. But he's 7 tenths off what the top 3 have managed. Almost a second to Toya. 8 tenths, roughly. Ends a tiny bit down on his personal best. He goes wide at Stowe as well, and he's coming into the pit lane. We're going to have Stellan joining for the last 5 minutes of qualifying, which should hopefully make things a little bit more interesting. Here comes Claudio. Round the last corner across the line. He goes a little bit wide. Improves by 3 tenths, but he's still down in P10 with a 127.3. And the front runners today are all looking incredibly punchy. You could be in for a very fun battle at the front for this Grand Prix. It's going to be one shot for Stellan, who's going to join this session shortly. With 4 minutes to go, Claudio being down in 10th is not a sight we're used to seeing. Not at all. I mean, Mr. Quota only in 7th with a 26.9 isn't quite what we'd expect from him either. Just getting my Steam overlay on the... Let me just do that. So Riff Racing just heading back into pit lane as well. Just do that. So you got 3.5 minutes left to go in qualifying. All the drivers will be mostly heading out on their final runs. Mystic, I believe, has just finished one with a 126.9. Tech Sport's just going through the last corner as well. He gets a bit of a slide on the exit of the Vale chicane. Across the line he goes. It's a big improvement, half a second, to put him up into P5. Right behind Rivs Racing in front of him. But again, there's both of them 7 tenths off the top 3. It's all so close, and then you've just got the huge margin out front. Charlotte's coming around the first few corners. I don't think she's on a push lap here. Coming into Stowe there, turn number 8. And she's using the battery, but I don't think she is pushing. So Stellan joined the session. We'll just about have time for the one run. As Toya leads us out of the pit lane. With about 2.5 minutes to go, Stellan has now left the session immediately after joining. So that's not going to be ideal with only 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. There's not going to be much room to get that lap in the end. Stellan might be in trouble. Might be in serious trouble here with 2 minutes to go. Don't know if they're going to get a lap in time. And Charlotte's just lapping at this stage to get something on the board, I think. It's coming into the pit lane is Tech Sport. That'll be his qualifying done. P5 is the best that he can do. Yeah, boy's just starting what will be his final run with 1:40 to go, unless he does feel like backing off and trying again. As Stellan's joined back, and there isn't going to be time. There's only 1.5 to go. Stellan is not going to get a lap in. There is not time to go out and set another lap. Neither's R34. He's in P3. He's not going to have time to do a final run. So those two are not going to be improving. Yeah, boy's retired. He doesn't think he can improve on his lap. Here comes Toya. Round the last couple of corners to start his final run. He's not been able to improve on that first banker that he set so far. But we'll wait what he can do on this final lap of the circuit. He's going to take us through into the loop section, gets it stopped for number 3, gets it rotated, and then it's back on the power out of this section as soon as possible to run all the way down the Wellington Straight. A little bit more of that curb, that would be ideal. DRS active as he blasts his way down into turn number 6 of Brooklands. It's a high speed, high commitment corner. He's going to get a little bit of a snap on the I cannot speak. On the apex. Is not going to be ideal as he gets back on the run down the opposite straight in towards Cops Corner. Tech Sport also retires. We knew he wasn't going to get a final run in anyway. It's flat out through Cops Corner down to 7th on the ERS as well. Rift Racing has retired. 2nd in the championship. He's not going to be improving on his current qualifying position. Through Maggots into Beckett's and now lastly Chapel. For Toy to navigate. Back on the power again. DRS active and we await 2 tenths up through the middle sector. Now he's just got to keep this one on the track through the final chicane. As he takes us through Stowe. Again, just getting back on the power as soon as he can. High commitment, high power. Gonna get it stopped and rotated through that final Vale chicane. Back on the power as soon as he can. And round club he goes. He's going to keep the battery in the positive. It's 25.4. With a 3/10 improvement on that final run. Mr. Business is down this time. He's invalidated as well. He's not going to be improving. Charlotte's managed to post a time good enough for P6. And 2 tenths up as he heads into Stowe as well. Could see him all the way jumping to P4 if he can get this one right. Mr. Quote is also on the lap as he comes around the final corner. We'll see what he can do as he crosses the line as well. Goes into P4 without 26.2. NS right now 26.4 as well. Ayan 126.6 puts him up into P6. And with Charlotte not improving, I'm not sure if Claudio is. He's on a lap as well. He comes across the line. And he can't improve. It's P12 for Claudio. Pole position for Toya. P2 for Mr. Business. R34 in 3rd. Mr. Quota takes P4, having won last week. Then it's NS. Ayan and Rivs Racing. Rounding out the top 7. Textbook P8. Charlotte P9. Mystic P10. Spitfire Boy P11. Claudio P12. Yeah boy. And Stellan 13th and 14th. And neither getting in a competitive run. And that qualifying has set up a race which could be very spicy at the front. Admittedly, Toya has taken pole by half a second. But there is room. There is definitely opportunity for the other drivers to get involved. might try to... Let's just turn down DLSS a bit. Let's just do a bit of... If you turn off frame gen, see how that goes. Hopefully that will cause things to look a bit better. And the formation lap is underway here in Silverstone. And it's mostly the medium tyres for the front runners here. A few opting for the hards, and 2 on the hards, 2 on the softs. Mystic and Yearboy hoping to work their way up the field on the softs. Spitfire Boy and Stellan hoping to go along with the hards. Yeah, we got quite an exciting race ahead of us. And we'll see how it pans out as Toy takes us down onto the hangar straight, leading us away on the formation lap. We await the start of the British Grand Prix. Hoyer lines himself up. And now it's just waiting for the cars at the back to get themselves on the grid. And Hoyer has missed his grid spot, so he's going to be slightly further back than he would have been otherwise. But here we go. Fire lights for the British Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go, and it's a good start for Toya, who does lead him away. Mr. Business got slightly bogged down in the second phase. He's going to try and hold off R34. He goes swooping around the outside through turn number 1 and gets himself up into P2. Mr. Business not going to give it up, though, as he tries to keep himself on the inside. There's contact. He goes spinning off. Mr. Business from second on the grid goes spinning off the track. Picks up a 3-second time bounty for corner cutting. That will be removed, but he falls down to P8. NS having to give the position back due to an illegal overtake of some kind, but Toya still leads. R34 second, Mr. Quota in third place. Tech Sport getting his way up into fourth. There's all knows what going on in the background, as it's almost 3 wide. It's just so many cars in one place. There's now Stellan trying to work his way up into P9, having started at the back of the grid. Gets past Mystics on the inside into Cop's corner. Gets the move done. Mystic has to back out, but they both go wide on the exit. Stellan does get that move done in the end. R34 following closely behind, looking to try and take that race lead away from Toya. But he's not going to be close enough just yet. He might be under a little bit of pressure from Mr. Quota, but they all are going to stay as they were down the hangar straight. Stella now trying the outside of NS into Stowe would be a very bold move, especially on those slower hard tyres. He's not going to be able to get the move done just yet. And we'll wait for later on for a better opportunity to make that move. Yeah, boys, into the pit lane at the end of lap 1, possibly carrying some damage, and that could well be his race pretty much over. R34 now will get the benefit of DRS, which he isn't using. There we go. Yeah, boy has retired from the race at the end of lap 1. It's a shame, but the race does go on. So it will be interesting whether these guys can stick with Toya and maybe get ahead in strategy of some form. I think 4 within 4 tenths here. Maybe within a shot of going for an overtake down the hanger straight as he tucks in behind the Red Bull's wheel tracks. He's going to deploy all the battery he's got down into Stowe. All the battery he's willing to spend at this stage of the race. Is he going to go for the move? He's not going to be close enough. And they are going to stay as they were. Stellan's still stuck behind NS, but might be close enough for a move. Not when they're all in DRS train, he's not. NS, though, has now dropped out of the DRS in front, which would be a nice opportunity for Stellan to get his way past. If the car in front doesn't have any DRS, he gets the full advantage to himself. Mr. Quota sets the first lap of the race at the end of lap number 2. But again, all the gaps staying pretty low in the grand scheme of things. Rips Racing just dropping out of a second there. I don't think he was able to recover back into the DRS of tech support. And he just about did. In the end, Stellan, though, is going to have a great opportunity to go past NS for that P8 with the DRS as well. I don't think there's going to be much that the Ferrari can do to defend this one. Stellan to the inside, using those hard tyres to move up into P8. And now, he's going to go trying to chase down the 2 in front. Mitsubishi and 8 and going side by side through Luffield. You can see just ahead of them. Will allow Stellan to close up that little bit more, but still 1.1 seconds behind, not able to get close enough. Even though, and slightly dropping back from Rips Racing, Mr. Business goes wide at Cops. And that has very much invited Stellan back into this train. The top 2 seem to be separated by a little bit over a second, as Toya has managed to break the DRS already. It's only lap 2. Oh, it's only lap 3, sorry, but a bit of burning from Toya has seen him open up that gap at the front to just over a second. Can he keep it that way? Well, with the ERS difference, R34 will definitely have a chance of closing it back, but Toya does seem to have the pace at this stage. Stella now right on the back of Mr. Business. Will be looking for a move at the earliest opportunity. Maybe even turn 3 if he gets the run. Is he going to fancy a little lunge at the inside? I don't think so. I think he's just that little bit too far back. Toy is still out of the DRS range. Still at 1.2 seconds. Stellan now setting up the move on Mr. Business very nicely. Will get the run. Round entry. A little bit of a slide on the exit, but it should still be enough. Here comes Stellan with the run. Moves up into P7. Just a lap after going up into P8. R34 and Mr. Quota going side by side through Luffield as the Williams does maintain that position. Mr. Quota still looking all over the back of him, trying to find a way through. Toya's gone at this stage and doesn't look to be catchable. Now what can Stellan do with this P7? Ayn doesn't have DRS at this stage. May be about to regain it through the exit of Cops, which he will do, and that does invite him back into the DRS. But can Stellan get the superior run and make the move regardless? Here he goes with the superior straight line speed, burning a bit of battery, moves to the inside and gets that placed. Mr. Quota and R34 still scrapping it out through Stowe as well. As the pair going to go side by side in the fail chicane. R34 cuts back over. Mr. Quota slightly locks those rear brakes, but does maintain the position as Stellan goes dancing around the outside of Aon through the fail chicane to move up into that P6, making his way through the field very rapidly. Mystic's gone off at the Val chicane as well as all of that was going on. Falls behind Claudio, and with those soft tyres that's now been spun on as well, I doubt Mystic's going to have very much grip remaining for the rest of this stint. May have to call it a day and come into the pits pretty soon. Still am right now, showing great pace on these hard tyres. In spite of the hard tyres, really, because the mediums will still be the better compound at this stage until maybe 8 laps in is about when I'd estimate there to be a somewhat crossover. Stellan not quite within the 1 second, but might still be able to get it back on the exit. And through Max and Beckett's will be just about within the 1 second to Rivs Racing. And that's a big change, because Stellan's faster on the straights as well. There will be gaining that occurs down this hangar straight. It's not going to be enough. There's not going to be a change of position. But give it a lap maybe. And Stellan might be in with a chance. Mr. Business on the inside of A and gets back past. Into P7. And then he's going to try, maybe have a look up the inside of the Vale chicane. He scrubs the fronts to get it stopped. And narrowly avoids collecting Mr. Business's rear wheel. That was close, but they kept it clean. And Mr. Business is up into P7. Stellan now in a great opportunity to go past Rivs Racing here as they go around the loop. Now through entry onto the Wellington straight, and yeah, there's not going to be much contest for Stellan here, who moves up into P5, having started from the back, making very, very rapid progress through the field. Up 9 from his starting position of P5. Now the question is whether he will be able to gain on Toya once he catches up. With that 6/10 advantage, or 6/10 gap, to tech support will be easily within the DRS. Mystic gets a 3-second time penalty, trailing off the back of the field at this stage. As there goes Stellan already past tech support. And already looking to challenge the top 3, who seemed in a different league in qualifying. Tech support goes slightly wide at Stowe. May have picked it, and may have gained a track limits warning there. Look at the pace difference that Stellan has at this stage. As Ayan go into the pit lane and sped in the pits. And that's pretty much his race over. Unless we see a safety car. It's being a little bit too ambitious with the braking point for the pit lane. And it's cost him big time. As round the loop we go again. It's a bit of a slide for Mr. Quota, but he's still close to the rear of R34. He's going to try and make the move into Brooklands on the inside, and I think there's very little R34 can do to defend that one. As Mr. Quota moves up into second place, R34 sees a little gap on the exit of Luffield, but there's nothing he can do to get himself into that gap cleanly. And now, look how close Stellan is. Now, will the two Williams drivers work together as Stellan goes wide in the dirty air, loses a little bit of time? Not a drastic amount, though. Shouldn't have picked up a warning for that either. Will the Williams drivers work together to let Stellan through and then see the pace difference? I'm not sure. R34 will get the DRS and will move past Mr. Quota. Will Stellan be able to follow him through? No. Stellan's quite a long way too far back after the mistake at Cop's Corner. These two fighting is only going to harm Stellan. Now, R34, realistically, will want to play the team game somehow. But I'm not sure how. And Stellan is very close to the back of Mr. Quota now. Maybe, with a superior exit, can get past them both on the Wellington straight. It's going wide. It's Mr. Quota. There's a bit of contact between the two of them. And again, Stellan's practically pushing him through the corner. They're going to go onto the Wellington straight. Does Stellan get the better exit? I think he does. And then can he get himself past the house and maybe even into P2? Not quite. Doesn't have the straight line speed. And this may be the case for an awfully long time of just not quite having the straight line speed to break through the DRS train. A 10.5 now as they go into Cops will be horrible with the dirty air. As Mr. Quota this time goes a little bit wide, allows Stellan to close up a little bit more. And through Max and Beckett's, it's all about who gets the exit onto the hangar straight. I think Stellan's got the better line there, but hits the sausage curbs, goes a little bit wide, and that's going to give Mr. Quota the advantage he needs to stay ahead for at least one more lap. It comes down to these micro errors when trying to set up the exit. A tiny bit too much curb that sends you a tiny bit too wide. As those two, in front of Stan, come into the pit lane at exactly the same time. R34, Mr. Quota, R34 speed in the pit lane. And that seems to have cost him the chance to fight for second place he was doing all race. Surely, is all but gone at this stage. 4 drivers in the pit lane, all at once, but R34 with that 10-second time penalty is really going to struggle to compete now. And now, Stellan's unleashed. 4.8 seconds behind Toya. Does have the better tyres at this stage. But what can he do? If he can catch up before Toya pits, which I don't think is quite possible, because I don't think Toya will go too much longer. But if he can get close before he pits, that will be a big statement of intent. And now they've all come out ahead of Ian. Tech Sport's about 2 seconds behind the Alpine. And Toya is still pulling away at this stage. Stellan doesn't have the pace to close up. Which is interesting, because Toya's on very old tyres at this stage. He's been on those mediums for 10 laps, and he is still pulling away. He's pulled about half a second on the last lap, as NS gets a 3-second time bounty. 4 multiple warnings. Down in P11. Not really in the fight with anyone at this stage. Probably going for that P9, P10. Probably ahead of Charlotte and Spitfire. No, Charlotte's actually right there with this business now. I didn't realise. On those 9-lap old mediums. Yeah, so the driver's yet to pit. A Toya, Rivs Racing, Mr. Business, Charlotte, and then obviously Stan and Spitfire, who are both on those hard tyres. And the gap's staying at roughly the same now. Toya, on those old mediums, clearly got some time left in them, because he's still managing to pull away somewhat. 106.1 was his middle sector, 105.9 on that occasion from Stellan, but the gap's staying roughly the same, if not increasing, right now, which is very strong showing from Toya, considering how old those tyres are. 31.4 on the last lap from Toya, coming across the line for Stellan. It's a 31.2, so it's 2/10 change on this occasion. Ribs Racing and Mr. Business come into the pit lane as 2 of the remaining drivers on that first stint still. They'll be quite the way behind A and probably behind Tech Sport as well, maybe even. I doubt they'll be undercut by NS. We'll see when they come out. So bear in mind, Mr. Business and AN were battling before the latter came into the pit lane. Oh dear, frames. Game does not handle the pit lane very well. Yeah, they're going to be close with NS even. So in the pit stop phase, AN has gained about 9 seconds on Mr. Business. Around the outside goes NS on the Mercedes and gets that move done. Moves up into P10, but Mr. Business does get the DRS, so should move back past, especially considering the wing damage that the Ferrari has. Oh, it's a late move on the straight from NS. But Mr. Business gets that move done. Moves up into P10. And now sets his sights on Tech Support. And Tech Support's on the mediums. Is he? Sorry, is Tech Support 2 stopping? He is. Yeah, he's used 2 mediums. So Tech Support's on the 2 stop here. As Toya finally comes into the pits from the lead of the Grand Prix. And Stellan, round the last couple of corners, will take over the lead of the race. But I think Toya does have this one in control. right now. And in comes Charlotte. In comes Spitfire Boy. So all the remaining drivers have now made a pit stop. Where will R34 be relative to Toya? He's got a big undercut. 3 laps is the difference. And look at the time differential. Mr. Quota takes the net race lead as he moves past Toya. Now, what will determine this race is how long Toya spends in this traffic. How quickly can the Red Bull clear these guys? How long will he spend stuck behind them, burning up his tyres in the dirty air? As he goes slightly wide through Brooklands, that's the dirty air for you. He hasn't really had to experience it all race. He's now starting to just work out what it's like driving in dirty air on cold tyres. And how he can get past. Because for the time being, he's going to be stuck behind these guys. He is definitely faster. He definitely has the pace to get past them and pull away. But he's going to have to do that. At this stage, the hard tyres will be cold. He's going to be warming them up. He's just going to be working out where he is, assessing the conditions, and then he'll start attacking. But for now, he is losing crucial time to Stellan. I'll reword that. He's not gaining the crucial time that he should be right now. He's still in the net race lead. But, I know he's not actually. I'd still say he's the favourite to win. But he's not in the net race lead anymore. And he's not taking chunks of time out of Stellan, which he would be if he was in clean air. Or maybe this is his genuine pace. And he's not gaining. He's staying at the same gap in the train, so maybe this is just his pace on the hards. We'll see. He's definitely charging up that battery. Probably just getting ready to attack, and then he's going to launch all the battery, and just get past Mr. Quota as soon as possible. Maybe that's the aim. They are gaining on Stellan, about a second a lap. But once Stellan pits, he'll be gaining on them about a second a lap. So, who honestly knows how this race could play out? R34 is pretty much out of it, because he's got that 10-second time bounty. Same for Ian. And then tech sports on a 2-stop. So, at minimum, Stellan, who's actually in the pit lane now with 12 laps to go. That's a long time to go on these medium tyres. Oh, wow, the game does not like the pit lane. Path tracing and pit lane do not mix. That's what I've learned today. So Stellan's going to be behind tech support, even Mr. Business and Rivs Racing. So he's going to have to make these moves back that he made earlier on. He's between Mr. Business and Rivs Racing right now. And he's going to have to make these moves again. He's on the medium tyres. They'll fire up a lot quicker than Toya's hards. That's for sure. There he goes. Into P6. But he's 10.5 seconds behind the race leader. It's another 3-second time bounty for NS, who's just been overtaken by Charlotte down the hang. Stray! That's a big send! And an awful lot of contact involved in that attempt to take P9 away. And now let Claudio pass. Quite possibly has been holding up Charlotte in an attempt to let Claudio catch up. There was an awful lot of contact involved there. And now he's spun into the wall. I hope he's not trying to bin it, because that'd be rather sad. Stellan is gaining. He's gained about a second since coming out of the pits. He's got 10 laps to go. With only a 5-lap tyre offset, 2 to Toya. it's not that huge of an offset to be pushing for a second a lap. He's going to get past export here. And it's just gone off again. He's lost his front wing and rejoins the race. We're not going to see a safety car, realistically, as there it goes still. And past export, he's... no, he's just... Okay. Oh, no, we are going to see a safety car. That's really changed the complexion of this race. Stellan's going to stay out. All the hard tyre runners are going to pit for mediums. Stellan's going to stay out, take the race lead. Aon's going to fall like a stone. R34's going to fall like a stone. Because NS has definitely been that on purpose. And will definitely not get away with that. Yes, they all come into the pit lane. I shoot. No, Stellan's in as well. That's really interesting. Stellan's coming into the pit lane on brand new mediums. And he's going to... He could be leading the race if he had stayed out. And he's double stacking behind his teammate who has a 10 second. So Claudio and Mystic have just got 10 seconds. I don't understand the decision here. I do not understand it one bit. He's pitted for more mediums. He's just thrown away the opportunity he had to lead the race. For what benefit? For a 1 lap tyre difference. I do not understand the call here, to be honest. I really don't. I don't see the call. I don't see the vision. Call me a hater, but I don't see the vision at all. I don't see the vision at all with this pit stop. I mean, that's one cool. I don't understand why you'd pit in that situation. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Stellan will prove me wrong and win, but he would be leading on tyres that are the same age as everyone else's. I really, really do not see the vision. And yeah, we'll see. We really will see, but I just can't. I don't understand the vision here. Oh, Claudio's just got a 10 second because he was coming into the pit lane and... Oh, he's serving the 10 second that he got for a collision. And so he got another 10 second. I think there's a possibility that, because he got... If this penalty here... Oh, he's got 30! Oh, wow. I mean, if he finishes the race now with 20, there's a decent chance they'll both be removed, in which case he gets set back to 0. That's what I think. There's a decent chance, but all 20 of those get removed. Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't understand why Stellan didn't pit, honestly. Oh, no, why he did pit again. Because he's... And if he'd stayed out a few laps longer, he would have got the safety car. But then he pitted, and he was on like a lap and a half old tyres. And he came into the pits again for new mediums. Which will... Who knows? Will the safety car be in this lap? I think it's quite possible. And we got Spitfire Boy in P3. Who's not coming into the pits again. Yeah, 100%. I think Stan threw this away. Because then he double stacked behind his teammate who had a 10-second. And he came out P8. Behind so many more cars. Stellan has to clear 7 cars in 8 laps. He's going to have 8 laps to clear 7 cars. Whereas if he had just stayed out, he would have had 8 laps to defend with a 1 lap, like to defend a 1 lap tyre offset. I just cannot understand why he pitted. And I don't think it was the right call. And who knows, maybe it was the right call. If he can prove me wrong, I'll be fully welcome to being... Yeah. He pitted very early originally. And then... he pitted again. When there's only a 1 lap tyre difference from staying out. But... who knows? We'll see if it works out when the safety car comes in. The safety car's in this lap. I've got 8 laps till the end of the Grand Prix. Eight to go. Mr. Quota controls the restart. Stellan's down in 8th. Toy has led pretty much the entire race. He's in P2. And we've got Spitfire Boy on 6 lap old tyres in P3. Mr. Quota leads us away. And the Silverstone Grand Prix is back on. With tyres in hot pursuit. Tech support already. Past Spitfire Boy up into P3. He's on those hard tyres. They'll take a little bit long to fire up. Toy already. Go for the move on the inside in turn number 3. They go side by side. Round the loop. And I think he's just about got that move done. But Mr. Quota gets his car ahead. Gets the better exit. As they go wheel to wheel. Toy's that little bit faster on the straights than he has been the entire race so far. They're both burning quite a bit of battery. Toy burning a lot more. Mr. Quota goes down the inside, goes a little bit wider. Toy going to set up the switchback. Round the inside. Into Luffield. And has he finally got that move done? Mr. Quota has more ERS because he burnt less on the Wellington straight. But Toy's got the inside line through cops. And that is the move done. Or is it? Because Mr. Quota's still right there. But he does have to finally concede after pretty much a full lap of racing. And Stellan swap places. Stellan falls down into P10 when he really looked to be on God for victory. There's contact! And he goes spearing off into the wall. And what could have been quite a simple victory to the end. He's in the wall. Out of the race. Spitfire Boy goes tumbling down the order, having lost a bit of his front wing. And Stellan is out of the race. Well, I was right to not see the vision. In fairness. I was right not to see the vision of the... There's something to do with the cars... Wow. Like, we've got... a second safety car of the race. And now, Mr. Business has a 10-second, which I assume he's gonna try to get removed. And obviously the 3 seconds getting removed, but the question is whether the full 13 will. Stellan and R34 apparently got into a bit of a fight, which resulted in Stellan being in the position he was to go off and out of the race. I do want to know what went through, what caused the decision to pick, because I don't think that was the right one, especially considering the events that happened following the pit stop. We're going to go again. There's going to be a handful of laps to go until the end of the race. Mr. Business is in. No, he's changed his mind. I don't think you're meant to do that one. What was that? What happened there? That's not quite the pit lane. That's a moment. I'm fair. Claudio's now serving the billions of bounties that he has. How many bounties does Claudio have left? Well, there's something about this pit lane. Just kills my game when... Oh, where's Rivs Racing gone? What's happened? Was he always there? Or is that the game bit... Was he always in P8? I can't remember. He just, like, teleported down the field. Safety car should be in this lap. No, we're going to get another. So we're going to go 4 laps to go till the end. There shouldn't be time for another safety car, but you never can quite tell. This is going to be a fun end to the race. So it's going to be a reversal of the previous restart. Can Mr. Quota do to Toya what Toya did to him? Because the thing is, Toya needs to stay ahead, but he can't afford... You know, he can't afford to let his... He can't afford to drain his battery that bit too much. I assume Mr. Business is going to get those 13 seconds removed. Wow. Safety car should be in this lap. Which it is. Safety car's in this lap. We've got 4 laps to go until the end of this British Grand Prix. Toy's going to get us back underway when he chooses to go, which can be anywhere between now and the last corner. Mr. Quota did a late restart, going on the exit of the final corner. You rarely see people go before the last corner, but he's going to go. He's going to go now. Get a stop for the Vale chicane. Goes a little bit wide, and he's been overtaken by Mr. Quota on the safety car. He's gone off the track. He's losing positions. What's Toya done on this restart? Mr. Quota leads because Toya went off the track in the final corner. He just went straight off the track at the Vale chicane, trying to set up the exit. And now Mr. Quota leads. Tech Support second place. Toya's 2.5 seconds back. He tried to be clever and set up the exit. Or I think that's what happened. But he just went off the track and he's lost it all. So we're back racing again. With Mr. Quota now leading. Tech Support second place, but with that 3-second time penalty, will switch in favour of Toya at this stage. N in 4th. R34 in 5th place. Mr. Business P6 with the 13 seconds that I think will be removed, but we can't guarantee. I know for sure the 3 will, but I assume the 10 as well. Toya's gaining on the 2 in front of him, but he's having to burn his battery to do so. He's going to be in trouble in the last few laps. Perkins gets past Mr. Business on the entry of Maggots, gets up into P6. Mr. Business has a little bit of damage that I think he got under the previous safety car for a collision with Spitfire Boy that got him that 10-second penalty. As they all go onto the hangar straight as closely as they can. The game thinks there's a yellow flag, which there simply just isn't. I think it's a new version of the old safety car bug. But Toya's caught back up to the 2 in front of him. He's really having to push on those medium tyres, having to push on the battery as well. He does set the fastest lap of the race, despite what happened on the previous one. 1.2 seconds is the gap. He's now going to have to close it all the way down. Techsport's going to get the DRS. Shouldn't put up too much of a fight, because he's not involved in this battle for the win with that 3-second time penalty. He's 3.9 seconds. He's about 3 seconds ahead of N in P4, which should secure him the podium. Here comes Toya. He's going to try send the lunge into Brooklands. There's a lot of contact between the two of them as he's very, very aggressive on the brakes. He's going for the switchback on the exit of Luffield. He's frustrated as Toya. He's really, really annoyed. Absolutely sent that one on him. I don't know if he's going to get away with what he just did. But he's got to be aggressive. He just needs to catch up to Mr. Quota. He's got to do everything he can. But with only 25% battery, there's only so much he can do with 2 laps to go. Because now Techsport's going to get the run on him again. He's not going to be close enough on this occasion. But Ayan is now within the 3 seconds, thanks to that instant that they had. R34 goes steaming around the outside of the Alpine to move up into 4th place. And now Ayan falls down. He's got Charlotte Perkins right behind him, who could be looking to take that P5, maybe even P4 if she can get the opportunity away from those in front of her. Toya remains at 1.4 seconds behind Mr. Quota. He really seems to have this win in the bag. Until whatever he just did at that final safety car restart. Whatever he did whatever he tried to do, it went horribly, horribly wrong. And it's definitely going to be what cost him. It's going to cost him this race victory. Because a second and a half, he's just not going to be able to close that in the remaining lap and a half. Now, R34 is within the 3 seconds of tech support, who's going to have to settle for 5th, maybe even 6th, as things stand. And we're going to go on to the final lap with Mr. Quota leading. Rivs Racing looks set for P7 as Spitfire Boy has that 3-second time penalty. Mr. Business maybe will be P8, depending whether the 10 gets removed. But Mr. Quota is going to take us on to the final lap with a 2.5 second advantage, with a massive ERS advantage as well. And he looks set to take his 2nd victory in a row, to really send himself, potentially, up into the title fight. Toy's going to gain good points on everyone around him in the championship, especially his teammate Rivs Racing. Toy's going to be on 59 points. No, 60 points, sorry, as it stands. Mr. Quota will be on 50. There'll be a 10-point difference in the championship, but with Mr. Quota has entered quite a few less races at this stage. They're going to go around for the final time. I don't see a way in which Mr. Quota can be stopped in the remaining laps. He really hasn't seemingly put a foot wrong in this race, considering how negatively he was talking of himself after qualifying. He's really turned it around in the main race, as I say that! On the exit of Chapel, he put the ERS down too early, and now he's really under pressure from Toya. But I think he's just going to have enough to hold it off. If he doesn't do anything stupid in the last couple of corners, he's going to get it stopped for the Vale chicane. And he gave us a scare in that last corner. But Mr. Quota crossed the line to win. A very well-deserved British Grand Prix. My heart just fell. As I was saying how he had pretty much not put a foot wrong. He just... Wow. Mr. Quota. Oh, he's so nearly lost that. And Mr. Quota wins. Toya with the fastest lap. What a ending to that race. Wow. I'm just in shock. That was some race in the end. Very entertaining one though. I love that. That was great to watch. And I hope anyone watching it enjoyed it too. And thank you for watching the stream. Hope next week can be as good as that one.